Hi everyone, it's Miss Elizondo, and this video is to help you for week 5 science experiment. It is on solutions, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is show you my science notebook. I'm using 4th period science. So if I go to my data table, in the end, it's going to look like that. But the first thing I want to show you is we're trying to find a solution, and that is the name of our lab. Okay. So in our lab, this is what we used. These are the substances that we used. We put a teaspoon of salt in 2 cups of water. Now you can do that with a pitcher like what you use for Kool-Aid. Okay. Or you can use a bowl. Now I have a bowl here and it's full of my substances. So you can use salt, any kind of salt, if you have salt at home. Okay, this is the one I had. You can use sugar. So this is the one I had, sugar, white sugar. You can use brown sugar. You can use stevia or truvia, whatever sweetener you have. Sweet and low, things like that. Black pepper. It's the black powdered pepper. Okay, so I put a little bit on there so that you could see. That's the pepper I'm talking about. It's the black powdered pepper. Cooking oil. So cooking oil, any kind of cooking oil, you have olive oil, you have coconut oil, you have mazola oil, canola oil, whatever you have at your house. Food coloring. Now, food coloring is a bonus substance. You don't have to have food coloring, but if you have it in your house, when you make cakes and frosting, you want to color the frosting blue, you're making a Lego cake or something like that, then that's the dye or the food coloring. Okay. So those are the substances that we use today in our lab. Some people were also using honey. Okay. You can use honey for your bonus substance, or you can use tajin, trechas, salsita, whatever you have in your kitchen. I don't want you to go out and get something. Okay. Whatever you have in your kitchen, you can test to see if it is a substance that'll dissolve in water. Okay. Or does sugar dissolve in water? Does black pepper dissolve in water? So once you have your pitcher and your water and your substance, you're going to stir it 20 times. Okay. When you stir it 20 times, you're observing, is it going to dissolve in the water? What happened to it? Can I even see it anymore? That's what you're observing. If you can't see or you can't tell what one subject or substance is, or it's all blue, then it's a solution. Everything's even. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. So before you actually do this test, we made a hypothesis the day before, which was Wednesday, or you can do the hypothesis right before you do your test. Okay, so these are the hypotheses that we came up with. Okay, so we first made an educated guess before we actually tested them. Okay, so we said that salt, yes, will dissolve. We'll see once you test it. We said, yes, sugar will dissolve. We'll see once you test it, and so on. So we said no for black pepper. We said no for cooking oil. Well, actually, my 4th period class said no. And then, of course, my 4th period class said, yes, food coloring will dissolve. Okay. Once you have your hypothesis, then it's time to test. Okay. So this is where you get all your materials ready, and then you're going to check off the box. Okay. For example, is salt soluble or insoluble? So when we tested salt, we found out for sure that it was soluble. Okay, so you need to look at all the substances, and you can pause this video, because if you don't want to see the answers to the results to our lab, you can pause the video, go do the experiment, go test it, and then come back. Okay, because now I'm going to reveal the answers. Okay, or if you just wanted to know what happened, these are the answers. So if you don't want to know yet, pause the video, go do the experiment, and then watch the rest of this video. Okay, now that you've done your experiment, okay, these are the results that we got today. So we found out that sugar is soluble for sure. We tested it. We stirred it 20 times, and then 20 times again, and then 20 times again. So we ended up stirring 60 times for each one. Okay. So black pepper, nope, it never dissolved. So it's insoluble. Cooking oil, we just saw bubbles everywhere all the time, did not dissolve. And food coloring, yep, because the solution turned blue when I use blue food coloring. Okay. So once we have our data table complete, we analyze our data table. So were you correct in your hypothesis? Yes, I was correct. Everything I said would happen happened. Okay. Then I counted how many solubles do I have? Well, I have 3 soluble substances. How many insoluble substances? 2. Okay. Then we had a cooking oil surprise. We were fascinated by the way cooking oil reacts in water, with pepper, with salt, with sugar, with other things if you have bonus, okay, like food coloring, if you have a bonus substance, okay. So that was surprising to us. Then once you're finished analyzing your data table, on the left side you have a lab report. Okay, here's the lab report that I wrote, and I also drew a picture just so that my brain doesn't forget that this is what it looked like for me in this picture. Okay, and the oil still rose to the top because it is less dense than water. So you could actually see the layers of oil and water. Sometimes there's even pepper. Okay, so it's fascinating to see once you're done, look at the density part of your experiment. So you can copy my paragraph or you can write your own. The only thing is you have to use those vocabulary words. Okay, because you're a scientist, you are writing a lab report based on what you know and what you learned. Okay, so in blue, I have everything that I learned along with the vocabulary words. And the last sentence is what I would do, okay, to make it better. I would use milk instead of water, okay, because I asked you to get 2 cups of water, but maybe you can get 2 cups of milk. See what happens. See if the salt and the sugar and the black pepper cooking oil react the same or don't. Okay. So that is something that you can do on your own. So this is what we came up with. This is what happened for our Thursday week 5 science lab on Find a Solution. Thank you.